Hey, Eric the Car Guy here. I'm here with Shane Neuman from Airtex Corporation. And one of the things that I thought I might cover in this particular trip to Airtex, since we're talking about fuel pumps, is how to diagnose a bad fuel pump. So that's what we have Shane here for. And he's going to take us through the steps in the process of the diagnosis of perhaps a no-start condition that is caused by possibly a fuel pump failure. We can get more in depth in this in the future, but this will at least get you started on that diagnosis. So let's get started, Shane.
Sounds good.
All right, so Shane is in the car. Hi, Shane. And he is going to try and start the vehicle, and we'll see if we have a no-start condition. We have a no-start condition because the key is not turning. See, we're trying to get...
Nope, no start.
Okay, so we've got a no-start condition, and now we need to find out why that no-start condition exists. Okay, Shane, we've already determined that there is a no-start condition, so what would be the next thing we might want to do?
First thing you'd want to do is check to see if you can hear the fuel pump run. You can put your ear down by the gas cap, take the gas cap off, and then turn the key on or have someone turn the key on for you and listen. It should run for 2 or 3 seconds to see if you can hear it buzz.
I don't hear anything. Go ahead, try it again. Nothing. Now that we have determined that we don't hear the fuel pump running, what would be the next thing we might want to look at?
The next thing would be to go under the hood and check the actual fuse for the fuel pump.
All right, let's do that. All right, so on this vehicle, where might we look for the fuel pump fuse?
The fuse is in the fuse box under the hood. On this one, the ECMB fuse also incorporates the fuel pump.
Now that we've found the fuse,
Yep, we pull it out, and we can look at it to see if it's good or not. This one, you would look to see if it's burned or not. This one looks good. It doesn't look like it's burnt.
so we found the fuse is good, so what might be the next thing we look at?
There's also a fuel pump relay located in the fuse box. On this one, it's in this corner. You could have someone switch the key on and listen to see if you hear it click.
Let's try that. Okay, go ahead. All right, I think I heard a click, and it's this one up here in the corner, right? And then you can put your finger on it also, you can feel it click. All right, I feel that. Go ahead one more time. Okay, so I actually hear it clicking. Now, the fuel pump fuse is good, the relay clicks. What would be the next thing we might want to do?
The next thing we want to do is actually hook up a fuel pressure gauge to the fuel rail and see what pressure we have, if any, that the fuel pump's producing.
Let's do that. On this vehicle, to check the fuel pressure, we need to get to that little cap right there. Take this off, and that reveals the Schrader valve, which conveniently gives us a place to hook the gauge up to. Now that we have found the fitting that we need to screw into the fuel system with, we now have a fitting that we're going to fit down on there, and you've got a shop rag in your hand also.
Right. We're going to take the shop rag, put it around the fitting. That way we soak up any fuel that we spill. And then we'll screw the fitting on. Make sure and get a good tight seal so it doesn't leak. Connect our gauge. Now we're ready to test the fuel pressure.
And how would we go about doing that?
We want to cycle the key, let it sit for 2 or 3 seconds, and then recycle it again, and watch what the maximum pressure does here.
Okay. You cycle the key, we'll watch.
Okay, I cycled it.
So the key was on,
Yes, key's on again.
no pressure. Okay, so now that we see that we have no pressure,
We have no pressure. We have a good fuse, a good relay, no pressure. So now we need to look towards the fuel pump. It looks like we possibly have a bad fuel pump on this one.
and on this one we need to drop the gas tank in order to get to it, right?
Correct.
Okay then. Okay, so the rundown would be to first check the fuse.
Right. Listen for the pump first.
Well, listen for the pump.
Yes.
So step 1 would be to cycle the key and listen for the pump.
Right.
Step 2 would be to check the fuse.
Right.
If the fuse is good, then check to see if you have the relay clicking.
Right.
And then after you've checked for the relay clicking, the next thing to do would be to go in and check the actual fuel pressure.
Correct.
And now that we have no fuel pressure, the next step would be to go back to the tank and see if we're getting a signal or a voltage to the fuel pump itself.
Right.
And if it is, then we can reasonably assume that the fuel pump needs to be replaced.
Right.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
And I'm Eric the Car Guy. You can always visit me at EricTheCarGuy.com or follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Till next time, be safe, have fun, stay dirty. Thanks for watching, everybody.